Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everybody. Let me make sure I am live on the book. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I normally have on my headset, but them things broke. Finally broke. So I am just going live on my computer here. So I'm gonna check my volume. As you come in, let me know that you can hear me, okay? I'm gonna check and see myself. Yeah, sound like I am doing good. I am loud on the book on my cell phone here. So I'm gonna share the video out to my business page. My business is Triple M Money Management Matters, and I am your girl Lisa Stringer Bailey, and I help women make more money, save more money, and protect that money. Yes, indeed, because all this money that we have and we're making it and we're working so hard for it, we need to be protecting it and um keeping it secure for our future, not just for our right now. So tonight I want to talk about two. If you notice my title, we're going to talk about not how not to be a slave. How not to be a slave. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes as you come in. Go ahead and say, "Hey, girl, hey." Let me know that you're here so I can speak back at you. Hey, Tara, girl, how you doing, honey? How was your weekend? I shouted you out this weekend on Saturday, girl, when I had on my that mustard color shawl and my tam. Oh, and that beautiful blinging crown pin, girl. That thing is bad. I got all that from Diva Styles Accessories, honey. Look, y'all. If y'all saw my picture on my timeline from Saturday when I was just sitting in my car waiting on my son at his football activities, I was just taking pictures and I said, "Oh, I look cute just to be sitting in the car, so I might as well put it on the book." And that was Tara. Tara is my stylist. She said, "Look fabulous." Thank you, girl. Look, I'm trying to keep up with you. You did, you did that, Diva. Girl, I learned from the best. I learned from the best. So yeah, y'all go ahead and share this video out. I'm gonna share it out with my business page, and I'm also gonna share it with my group. I do have a group on Facebook. If you're not a part of that group, it is called Manage Your Money, ma'am. Manage Your Money, ma'am. Okay, so I'm gonna share it over there with those ladies. If y'all want to be a part of the group, if you are a financially sassy woman and you trying to be better at your money, you're trying to manage your money better, you're looking for a group of accountability partners, honey, that's me and my ladies over in Manage Your Money, ma'am. Come on over and do and request to join. You do have to answer the questions. There's some questions in there. You have to answer the questions to get in the group. Tara said, "Yes, thanks for sharing the pics." You're welcome, girl. I was feeling myself, and I said, "Oh, I'm looking cute." So I'm about to go on and put this on the book, honey. And shout out my girl, right? Because us business owners have to support each other and lift each other up. And Tara is like my accountability partner as well. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Manage your money, ma'am. That's right. So if y'all not a part of that group, go on over there and check it out. Check it out. So yeah, tonight I want to talk about for our Monday money motivation. I want to talk about how not to be a slave. Now listen, if y'all been following me, y'all know I use the Bible as my guide, as my book of reference, as far as dealing with money matters, as far as dealing with family matters, health matters, emotional matters, physical matters, any kind of matters. It's all in the book, the holy book, the Bible. So I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Bible principles. I believe in Jesus Christ. So I'm telling you, this month I am doing 31 days of Proverbs. For 31 days of January, I've been reading one book of Proverbs a day. And the group that I'm in, that I'm kind of reading along with and getting some insight from, we're using the Passion Translation. If you all have not heard of that, look it up. The Passion Translation. I do believe it's a fairly new translation of the Bible, but what it does is it's a more clearer, a more it's kind of like the NIV and the NLT, the New Living Translation, but it's just more real, almost more real for today's time, for what we really go through. So I've been posting some of the verses that really stood out to me on my page at Lisa Stringer Bailey on my personal page. So um, go back and check some of those out if you have not seen them on your feed. But one that I wanted to talk about tonight, and I'm going to read it to you from I'm going to read it to you from the NIV version, and then I'm going to read it to you from the Passion Translation, so we can kind of get a comparison, because it's quite different. It's quite different. So it's Proverbs 22. This was last week's, on the 22nd day, we did Proverbs 22. So I'm going to look it up real quick, and I'm going to read that to you, and then we're going to discuss it a little bit. I appreciate you, Tara. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the girl, you better go on and preach about it now. Go on and preach about it. So look, if y'all don't have the app on your phones, we always got our phones, so we always need to have the Bible in our hand. You can go ahead and download that Bible app, honey. So go to Proverbs 22, and this is the NIV version. And we're going to look at verse number 7. Verse number 7, 22 and 7. And it says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. And that's why I got my subject from, how not to be a slave to the lender. Okay? Because it's very real. And I kind of want to break it down, how real that is. But let's look at this in the Passion Translation. 22 and 7 says, if you borrow money with interest, you'll end up serving the interest of your creditors. Okay? For the rich rule over the poor. So that is just saying, in our Money Matters, God is telling us here that it is better if we do not borrow, okay, and become slave to those creditors, to those people that we're borrowing money from. Because realistically, without us even realizing it, when we borrow money and then we pay interest on it, we don't really realize, we don't really think about the amount of interest that we are paying for that item that we've just used the credit card for. Now, let me just get this out of the way, because a lot of my financial industry gurus, people I follow, my mentors, my coach, a lot of people in the financial industry will tell you that credit is good. It's good to have credit. And it is. I do agree with that. But the bad part is, it's always good and bad for everything. Okay. The bad part is the interest that you have to pay on that money, the interest that you have to pay on that item you just purchased. Using credit, let's just put it like this. You can use credit for two things. One is for liabilities, which is an accounting word, or stuff that don't bring anything back to you in return. Things that depreciate instead of appreciate. And then you can use credit for assets. Now, your assets are things that's going to bring money to you. Assets are things that grows in value. Assets are things that you can turn over or you can flip and make a profit. Does that make sense? The difference between a liability and an asset. So just for an example, a liability is if you're using a credit card to purchase clothes. Guilty. I've done it before too. I've lived and learned. I could be buying just a dress, just a nice dress. I'm always one to try to buy a new outfit for every occasion. I used to. I don't do that anymore. I used to want to buy an outfit for every occasion. So the normal outfit, I would say $50. I'd pay $50 for the outfit. Well, if I didn't have $50 cash to pay for it, I had not planned for that purchase, I had not budgeted for that purchase, then what did I do? I whipped out the credit card and just said, charge it. Charge it. Okay. Because I talked about this before too. A lot of times when we're out shopping, and this happened to me all the time, they will ask you, would you like to apply for a credit card today and save 10%? And I'm like, okay, cool. I've been saving money. Instead of $50, I'm just going to pay $42. I save a whole $8. Okay, I'll do it. So I did that so many times and got into a mountain of debt. But if I had been thinking, if I had some knowledge and some wisdom about how credit works, I would have realized that $50 dress, if I paid for it over a period of a year, on that credit card bill, they bill you and you only pay the minimum, which is probably $10 to $15. If that's all I paid, which that's all I paid, because I'm like, that's all I got to pay. Okay, pay that and be done. Okay. I actually wind up paying maybe $150 or more for that $150 dress. So, and then how much is that dress worth in a year's time? A year from the day I bought it, it probably ain't even worth $5. So that's a depreciating liability. Okay. Well, I done put it on a credit card. I done got billed interest on top of interest. I done wind up probably paying, if I looked at it, sat down and actually looked at that bill over the time that I paid for the dress, I probably paid $150 for the dress, for a $50 dress. So when you start thinking about using credit that type of way, then you may think differently about using credit. And then, like God says, we won't continue to be a slave to our creditors. Because guess what? Another way to look at it is, if you have a mountain of debt, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 credit cards, and you're paying the minimum on them, just keeping them going every month. But what if you lose your job? What if you can't even make the minimum payment anymore? Then you're in a predicament. You're in a big predicament, because those creditors, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, are not gonna stop wanting their money. They're still gonna want their money, whether you're working or not. So they're gonna be calling you. Oh yeah, they call 2, 3, 4 times a day, worrying you. Your phone ringing. You're scared to pick up the phone. You scared. And then not only are they calling you, they sending you bills, 2 or 3 or 4 bills in your mailbox. So you even scared to open the mail, or you got a stack of mail sitting around your house because you can't pay the minimum balance anymore. So that's you being a slave to the lenders. So that's what God is saying. He don't want us to be a slave. So what we need to do is really start thinking about that thing. And I always say too, before you make a purchase, ask God, put God in it, do a prayer, pray and say, God, do I really need to make this purchase right now? And God will bring it upon back to your memory that you really don't have the money for it, or you're trying to save more money this year. You're trying to put money into an emergency savings fund for just in case you can't work again for the next pandemic or whatever. Or he could be he'll remind you that you want to purchase a home one day, so any of that extra money that you have need to go into your down payment of your home fund. It's so many other things that money could go toward, and that's what God will remind you of when you ask him before you make the purchase. God, is this really what I want to spend this money on? And God will tell you. God will tell you. Because in his word, he says, he do not want us to be borrowers, okay? He want us not to be ruled over by our creditors, by our lenders, by the rich. Because let me just tell you, those banks that issue those credit cards to you, that's the rich. They rich. They got plenty money. I can tell you one thing: they're probably not using credit cards to purchase clothes with. Mm-mm. They're rich. They are ruling over you. You are slave to the lender. Okay, so that verse always really getting me, and that's one that I try to memorize, and when I'm shopping or when I'm thinking about purchasing something, I think about that verse. Do I really want to be slave to this lender? Mm. Unless, like I just said, I do want to reiterate um that all credit ain't bad. All credit ain't bad, because we do have to have credit in order to build our credit reports. So when we do get ready to buy homes, when we do get ready to buy a car, when we do get ready to send our children to college, when we do get ready to apply for a high profile job or executive job, everything pulls your credit to see how you pay your bills. So, having one major credit card ain't no problem. The thing that we have to learn to do is pay our credit cards off monthly, every month is the perfect way to do it. A lot of times that's not always how we can do it, but that's the type of thing that I work with my clients on, is managing their money, how to pay your bills on time, how to eliminate a lot of that debt, a lot of those credit cards. Listen, I used to be there. That's how come I know so much about it. I've had 10 credit cards at one time, to every different department store in the world. You name it, I had a card for it. Macy's, yes. JCPenney's, yes. Victoria's Secret, yes. New York and Company, yes. Honey, them was my spots every Saturday. Every Saturday. I stayed up in the mall, okay? But I lived and I learned and I went through the whole being a slave to the lender. I really did, because I got to a point where I could not, I started learning that I was not eliminating any of the debt. I was just paying the minimum balance, which was 10 or 15, $20. And I kept a balance on those cards till I finally had to say, this cannot be right. I'm not going to continue to do this. I am about to do better. So that's what I did. I did better. And now I know better. So I do better. And I just want to help other people do the same and get out of this the same cycle of being a slave to the lender. Okay? Because that ain't what God wants for us. I had to hear it from God myself. You know what I'm saying? God had to tell me as well that this is not the life that I want you to live, my child, my Lisa. I need you to do better, because I need you to go out and tell the world, tell the masses to do better in their finances. So I just wanted to encourage you with that if you do find yourself in that situation where you're just paying the minimum payment on your credit cards, you feeling like you are a slave to the lender, then get in touch with me. I put my calendar in the description. Click the link and set up an appointment with me, and let's chat. Let's see how I can help you. Let me see how I can help you eliminate some of that debt, and especially move that money to something that's more to a more asset. Okay, because what we want to do is get more assets, less liabilities. More assets, less liabilities. Assets up here, liabilities down here, because we want more assets, more things that's appreciating, more things that we can like a savings account, like my insurance policies. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I can show you all kind of different ways to use a life insurance policy as a savings vehicle, as something that you can use for living benefits. It's not just for death anymore, okay? It's for saving, for your retirement, for your children's college, for whatever your dreams and aspirations are. That's where we need to be putting more of our money, investing it into vehicles, into assets, so that way we don't have to borrow. Okay. If we need something, if we desire something, if we want to purchase, if we want to go on a shopping, we can, but use this money over here that we've allocated for, that we've saved for, that we've put into a vehicle, and that money has grown. And now we can take that interest that we've made in that vehicle and go on the shopping spree and just spend that amount. It's called discipline. You got to discipline yourself just to spend a certain amount and not borrow. We do not want to continue to be slaves to the lender. It's in the book. God don't want us to live this way. And if we are, we need to fix it. We need to fix it. So get on my calendar. Let's chat. Let me see how I can help you get on the right track of being more of a lender instead of the borrower, and also being one of the rich and not the poor. Because I don't know if y'all been hearing this is something that's going around the financial industry. I've been hearing it a lot the last few weeks, that the way the world is going, inflation, is sky high. Gross, everything is going up. It's going to come to a point where there's no more middle class. There's no more people in the middle. You either going to be rich, you either going to have money, or you going to be poor and you're not going to have money. You're going to always be dependent on the rich. You're going to always be borrowing from the rich. It's just going to be two classes. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just telling you, that's the word on, look what they say. That's the word on the street. So I wanted to share one more Bible verse with y'all before I let you go. So y'all remember Proverbs 22:7. Read it, meditate on it, get it in your life, get it into your financials, get it into your psyche, get it into your money management. 22:7. Now let's go back. I want to read. Oh yeah, 22:2 is another one. 222. Look, I told y'all the year of 2022 is something special about them twos. It's gonna be double blessings, double everything. Hey Nicole, girl, thank you for jumping on. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey. So listen, Proverbs 22:2 says, "Rich and poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of them all." So, okay. And it's another verse, but I don't know where it's at, that says we will always have the poor among us. So listen, do y'all want to be amongst the rich or amongst the poor? God gives us a choice. We have free will, right? We have to choose which one we're going to be. Which one are we going to be, rich or the poor? I want to be amongst the rich. And I want all my peoples, all my followers, all my clients to be with me amongst the rich. So we got to work it together. Okay. So if you feel like you need an accountability partner, that's me. I'm your accountability partner. I'm going to be that one that, you can call up and say, Lisa, should I buy this? And I'm going to say, is it an asset or is it a liability? What you need it for? Do you need it right now? Did you pray about it? Could that money be used somewhere else? I'm going to give you a plan. You got to have a money plan. You got to have some money goals. I talked about money goals last week. Okay? You got to have financial knowledge. And since I'm talking about that, my podcast, the Money Management Matters, the podcast, yes, is airing on YouTube. So if y'all not on my YouTube channel, if y'all hadn't subscribed, go on over to the YouTube at Money Management Matters and subscribe to the channel. Tara said, yeah, she trying to be amongst the rich. Okay, come on, girl. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, y'all stay tuned for my podcast. I have some financial experts coming on deck for the first few months of January of the new year. It's gonna be tax professionals. If y'all did not check out last Monday's live, honey, I had a tax professional on here. Her name was Kiana Wright Carlson. She is a beast in the tax arena, honey. She was dropping all kind of gems and nuggets and fire up in here. Y'all go back and check that out on my YouTube channel. It was last Monday. It was some good stuff. This is the kind of stuff we got to get into our psyche. We have got to get into the habit of learning more about our money, learning more about the tax laws, learning how to save on our taxes. Quit giving the government all our money. Quit expecting a refund every year. Because if you had your taxes set up right, you had your W-4 set up right, you wouldn't be getting money back at the end of the year. You've been getting your money back during the year and using that money toward other things, into investing, into assets. I can show you how to do all that, all that. So we're just doing it the wrong way, and we just need to learn how to do it better. No diva left behind. I know that's right, Nicole. No diva left behind. If you hanging with me, listening to me, following up on some of these tips, honey, you ain't gonna get left behind. Share much needed information. Okay, girls. So thank y'all for joining me live. I appreciate you. Tara, as always, my number one fan, always jumping on and keeping me company and keeping me uplifted and keeping me supported. I love you. I love you. And thank you, Nicole, girl. Thank you, as always, for jumping in from YouTube, because she's over there on the YouTube making it happen. I appreciate you guys so much. So listen, all my replay watchers, go ahead and hit me with that hashtag replay. Let me know you came through and you listened and you learned something. Drop something in the comments. Say, hey, girl, hey. So I can say, hey, girl, hey, we got right back at you. And until next week or whenever I get back on this live, honey, y'all have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your week. Y'all stay warm. Look, y'all see I got my hat. Oh, honey, it was cold today. It's just been cold. It kind of warmed up in Georgia over the weekend. But for me, it was cold today. I don't know why. I just was feeling chilly all day. So I put my little head wrap on. But y'all stay warm. Y'all stay healthy. Keep that Rona off of you. And just know that I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And y'all stay blessed. Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night. Let me see. Looking good, Diva. Thank you, Nicole. You are so welcome, Tara. Thank you. I appreciate you, girl. I appreciate you. You are welcome, Nicole. You are welcome. All right. So y'all have a good night. See y'all next Monday.